I was just on vacation and I made these, and I used, it was like a package of pre-cooked lentils. They weren't canned. It's like a little bit weird to just see this sort of pouch of like already cooked lentils just kind of sitting there on the shelf. But they were really good. I'm not quite sure how they're preserved, but I didn't die when I ate them, so that was cool. I'm really glad that we're doing lentil burgers today because there was a brief moment where we were going to do a different veggie burger, and you know, obviously I love all of my veggie burger children. You know, they're all beautiful, they're all special, but the lentil burger to me is the ultimate just from the standpoint of makeability and the fact that you could come home after a very busy Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday and you know, throw this together in kind of like half an hour, you know, 45 minutes or so. This is actually the third veggie burger I've developed in the last 4 years, so I'm kind of averaging just under one a year. And the first one was kind of a superiority burger style maximalist approach where you are truly trying to kind of recreate the sensation of eating meat from the standpoint of having a range of textures from like crispy to chewy, soft, you know, kind of like yielding, and then building tons of flavor. And that was for kind of like a BA's Best sort of ultimate veggie burger kind of setup where it's a little bit more of a no holds barred approach, right? You know, you're not as worried about ingredient list or how long it takes to make it, whereas this one is completely makeable, you know, and it doesn't have to be any kind of special occasion. Cool. So, yeah, so let's start with the lentils themselves. So I feel like lentils, rice, there's like a lot of foods out there that have instructions for how to cook them on the package. And those instructions, I feel like most of the time are usually just flat wrong, flat wrong, flat wrong. I would never use like a set amount of liquid with something like a lentil. I like to boil it like pasta, basically. You know, it's fine to start the lentil and the water together and bring them both up together, but I find that cooking it like pasta, you know, in plenty of boiling salted water gives you, first of all, it agitates the lentils while they're cooking so that you know that they're moving around and that you're not getting some that are kind of clumped around the bottom. And you're also, because of that, they're cooking very evenly and you have a better gauge of when to pull all of them.
What do you think about kind of the slew on the market right now, imitation meat?
I mean, I think it's really interesting. You know, I guess that's the thing about veggie burgers, right? First of all, veggie burger, you know, in this case, it's a misnomer. We're not talking about like something where it's like we're trying to put carrot and beet and whatever in there. But I feel like, okay, so veggie burgers fall into two camps. You have veggie burgers that are trying to be meat, and then you have veggie burgers that are not necessarily trying to be meat. And frankly, I don't know, I celebrate both. And that's where like I feel like this style of burger, you know, comes in. It's not trying to replicate meat. It's just trying to be friggin' delicious, you know? Just double checking that. You're good. Stay where you are. You think Stranger Things is reductive. In addition to the lentils, the sort of backbone of the burger is you know, the fact that there's some mushroom in there for a little bit of meatiness. And when I say meatiness, I'm not talking about trying to have something taste like meat, but just it's going to provide a little bit of like negative space in our burger matrix, if you will. You know, if you don't eat wheat and you don't eat meat and you go to a restaurant and, you know, the veggie burger isn't gluten-free, it's just a friggin' bummer, you know? So anyway, I'm just trying to put a little bit of light out into the world there. So I'm just going to chop up these mushrooms. Don't have to be super precious about it. Andy doesn't watch Stranger Things. We can use a different oven. Stranger Things. You don't watch.
Of course I watch it.
Well, I'd asked if they've watched Stranger Things season 3, and everyone was just like, "Oh, it's just a little derivative, you know, blah blah blah." I got into *Handmaid's Tale*, which is just like I literally have to like watch a half of a Friends episode after every episode of *Handmaid's Tale* just to bring it down.
Before I go to bed. But
I don't know. I mean, this makes me sound like a total dick, but like I feel like it's a bit of a cop out to put egg and breadcrumb in a veggie burger patty. All right, mushrooms, chopped, RTG. Got lentils rolling. This is what I'm talking about, like, cook them like pasta. Now, when you cook them like this, when you're not farting around, like, with, like, too little water, you know, just like, they're gonna go fast, okay? So you cannot let them overcook. You have to stay engaged. You have to stay involved. I'm gonna set a timer. Got a timer down. Oh, God, this is terrible. Anybody have a TM8? No. Here. Molly had one. Part of why I love these timers is like the sound and the haptic experience of taking it off. You know, like, boom. All right, here, we're back. 3 minutes. We're gonna see what's going on here. These are agitated. It was like 2-hour wait on hold, agitated. A little more salt, you know? So people called me out, / tried to call me out, but sort of called me out for the fact that I called these burgers vegan, but also used yogurt as a condiment. You know, in my defense, look, the burger itself, like, that's the thing that's hard to make vegan, you know? So I tried to respond to people as necessary, just to say, look, you know, use a little vegan mayo, use vegan yogurt, you know? Here, this is just whole milk Greek yogurt. Well, is it? Or just, yeah. So like yogurt just makes a really nice condiment just because it adds a little bit of tang, it adds creaminess. I'm just doing a little lemon zest and about a tablespoon of juice. Just gonna mix this together. 6 seconds left. Boom. It's like, these are not far off. I'm doing 2 minutes. I was up in Kingston in upstate New York, and there's this place, Village Coffee and Goods, and they had a lentil burger on their menu that frankly kind of inspired this whole, you know, kind of situation. Honestly, after like 3 hours in the car with small children, eating that was, you know, nothing short of a cathartic experience. So thank you, Village Coffee in Kingston, New York. So I'm putting a little bit of garlic in with this yogurt. Just adds like a little bit of punchiness, you know, to kind of play off the burger.
Medium, large,
Medium. It's not like a freak, but it's not small. Andy and I, you know, we're like partners, you know, like a couple of like beat cops, you know.
good cop, bad cop.
And a little good cop, bad cop
That's
too.
a buddy cop movie I'm waiting to see.
So there's texture, you know, and I think like these are not lentils for lentil soup. And these are like nice and intact. We're gonna pull them here. You'll notice like there's no mush happening here. There's no mouchade. Drain well, like really well. All that excess water is just gonna contribute to the mush factor, and you're gonna have to add more flour to account for it, and it's just going to be a bummer. So just going to let them cool just ever so slightly before proceeding with the rest of this. All right, so although we're not trying to make this taste like meat, we want it to taste good, right? So things that amp up umami flavor and add like massive amounts of depth, like garlic, kind of prime suspect. It's going to almost completely cook through. Miso, again, like this is the product of months of fermentation. We're trying almond flour today, and I'm really hoping it's going to work. A little bit just gives just a hint of smokiness and richness. I'm just going to mash this around before I put my lentils in, so I can kind of distribute everything kind of evenly. So one thing that this burger does not have, which obviously meat-based burgers do, even the leaner ones, is they have fat, you know, they have richness. So adding a little bit of fat to this is pretty indispensable. In burgers past, I've used mayonnaise as a source of kind of fat because, you know, you get like a nice bound and emulsified fat, so it kind of acts a little bit as a fat and a little bit as a binder. This is going to help break some of those lentils apart. Lentils have an ability, kind of a little bit like a chickpea, to kind of want to bind to itself. All right, so I'm gonna add a little more flour. Let's start with another 2 tablespoons. So I need this to kind of hold together when I squeeze it. Say we're almost there. It kind of wants to hold together. This is very intense. I feel like I'm like hiding it pretty well, but I'm a little nervous. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So I'm just oiling my hands lightly, which is not called for in the recipe, just because I want this to stick to itself and not to my hand. I'm mashing more. Nope. Nobody's gonna see me fail today. Well, maybe. I think they should just about hold together. Still a little nervous. It's a tiny bit of salt. It tastes pretty good. The miso adds a good bit of salt to it. So again, mine are trending a little bit more delicate because the lentils never quite, frankly, probably got like mushy enough. You're gonna do great. Yours are gonna be fine. All you're trying to do is get some sear and some texture on them such that you can just get it to hold together long enough to make it into a bun and into your mouth. That's it. That's the whole game. The one thing I'd say is where lentils excel with veggie burgers is that when you kind of fry them in olive oil, the ones that are on the outside that are going to see the heat and they're going to get that sear and kind of crisp up in the olive oil, they become magic. Cool. All right, those are going to roll. I'm going to get buns in the oven. Boom. Get a timer on that. Adding a little more oil in there. I might update the recipe to just say like oat flour or like a gluten-free, just all-purpose blend is probably a better bet than almond flour. I just don't think the almond flour has the same amount of binding capability of like a very fine flour. So are these looking the best right now? Not necessarily, but they're holding together just enough that we're gonna be able to get them off into the burgers, buns, and I think that is what we should all be focusing on here. Whatever, I feel like, you know, it's good to screw up every now and again, you know? All right, so I just turned the heat down and I think we're good here. I mean, I have like a really good layer of crisp, you know, on the top. I have a good layer of crispiness on the underside. Yeah, we're good. Take it to the plate. A really thick yogurt is great here, just because, you know, when you introduce lemon juice to it, it's going to thin it out a little bit. So this is a little bit on the looser side. Again, like, you know, this is like the benefit of like just not having a freak out and panicking just because like something's like misbehaving slightly. You know, honestly, like sometimes if you just like, you keep going and you don't have a freak out about it, it works out, you know? I love pickles on my burger. Love, love, love. I love Sprouts. Like, I celebrate the world of Sprouts in all its breadth and diversity. Whatever lettuce is doing to a burger, which I feel like, honestly, like, let's face it, it's there for looks. Like, yeah, like, sure, lettuce, fine. You know, I see you, but, like, we all know who the real star is here. I think it's Andy. So yeah, in retrospect, would have cooked the lentils just slightly more, and I think I would highly recommend using oat flour or a gluten-free blend. That's it. It's yours. Pick it up and you own it. You've been eating the crunchy bits. I'm here for the crunchy bits. Are you like getting the crunch? That tiny bit of smoked paprika, right? jalapeno and then like the olive oil and the crunch. It's like it's happening in such an intense and visceral way. Yeah.
Is it crunchy?